Hello and welcome to this episode of The Feast is Life, a podcast for Fannibals, ready for deep dives into unexplored aspects of the show and the extraordinary ingredients that create the delicious recipe of our fandom. On today's episode, we have an exclusive interview with a very special guest. That's right, we have the winner of the Red Dragon Con 7 cosplay contest, Winston, poet, underdog, dark horse, and, most importantly, Patreon patron of our podcast. Are you ready for the behind-the-scenes play-by-play of the most iconic cosplay contest in the history of Sean's barbecue and foot massage? Lean back like a slutty Will Graham on the nearest available surface and get ready for the inside scoop of a lifetime. Stay tuned, or you'll be assigned pooper scooper duty at a certain house in Wolf Trap.
This episode of The Feast is Life is brought to you by our two newest patrons, Marissa and Pepper. You may remember Marissa is the hero of our table at the fan meet who so generously with her booze and wisdom. A fellow Midwesterner and an absolute delight, Marissa, welcome to the Patreon.
And a very warm and spicy welcome to Pepper, who found us through reading my Cuts Unseen series on AO3. Pepper, I can't thank you enough for all the brilliant comments you've been leaving on my fics. There's literally nothing better than interacting with readers, and I'm so blessed to have met not only you, but so many others through posting fics on, including my beloved wife. Also, archive of our own, congratulations on your milestone, 9 million perverted users. Remember, kids, if there's a screen, AO3 will be seen. All right. Let's get into it. So, Winston, we'll kick it off with, tell us a little about yourself, perhaps how you came to the fandom, your fics and or arts. Let's just set the scene first by getting to know you a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I'm not great about sharing stuff. I don't think I'm a very interesting person. That's the problem. People, when they say, "Oh, tell me about yourself," I'm like, I watch stuff and read stuff. I don't fucking know. Let's start with coming into the fandom rather than stuff personally about me. I watched Hannibal about 4 years ago with my now ex-husband.
We left the husband, but we kept the show.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it was one of the red flags. Do you know what I mean? He just went, nah, it was all right. And this, I couldn't believe it. The show literally changed my life. I immediately watched it again. And then I went back and watched certain scenes because I have a background in film, writing about film and watching film, analyzing film, cinematography and the mise en scene and, script structure and things like that really fascinate me. So instead of watching it as a narrative show, I watched it and watched how scenes were set up, camera angles, things like that. And it really is what made me fall more in love with the show than just the story. Don't get me wrong, it's sexy as hell, but there's so much depth to Hannibal than just what's said from the script. There's just so much more to it. There's so much storytelling just in the camera angles and the lighting and the shots and the scene structures and the costumes and costume design as well. Completely became my utter hyperfixation for the last 4 years. I regret nothing, quite frankly. It really is. It's worth every second that it's in my brain, and it's in my brain pretty much every second. It's, what should I pack the boys, my kids for lunch? Ooh, Hannibal and Will. I really must buy some bread. Ooh, Hannibal and Will. It's literally like that. My entire life is that. Something else as well. I've never read fanfics, so for me, I didn't know fanfics really existed. Life on the internet wasn't really a thing. Fandom spaces on the internet weren't really a thing when I was growing up and had time to hyperfixate. My first major love was The X-Files, and I was only about 11 when it came out. And then my second major love was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And again, there was no real internet spaces for that type of thing. So when I watched Hannibal, and I went onto Tumblr first, just to look at behind the scenes stuff, just to see what people said about it, look at pictures. And then AO3 just kept popping up. And I was like, what is this damn thing? What am I looking at here? And I clicked on it and mind absolutely blown. Had no idea this thing existed, no idea fanfics existed. And I gobbled that shit down as quick as I could. I was like reading every second of the day. One of the first ones I read was Two Solitudes by Imagure, which I'm actually listening to a podfic version of right now, just to have on because I'm absolutely in love with it. And then people were putting their Twitter handles at the bottom of their, like when they were the notes at the beginning, or, you know, on their creator user kind of page. So then I found myself on Twitter, and God, what a world. What a fandom on Twitter. Like, I never expected anything like it. When I was obsessed with Buffy, I was the only person in my friend group that was obsessed with it. So I had no one to talk to about it. You know, I had no one to sit and analyze and really love and cry about it. On Twitter, there's fucking thousands of Fannibals, you know, and they come from all different backgrounds, and they have all different really fascinating ideas and loves and obsessions. We're all really perverted, and I fucking love that. And there's no holds barred with it. You know, nobody's made to feel bad about any opinion they have about the show. Everybody's just fantastic. And yeah, like I couldn't be without the Fannibals on Twitter. I couldn't. I talked to so many of them almost every day, loads of different chats up and stuff. And it was through Twitter that I found out about Red Dragon Con, because I came so late into the fandom. But yeah, we'll get to that.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
It's like every time we hear people tell their stories about the fellowship. I kept saying that in our last episode.
Yeah, I actually made notes about your last one. I wanted to say about the con, one of the big things was it gave me a real feeling of coming home.
Yes.
Because it's so accepting. And we're all really weird.
We were so weird.
But we're weird in all really different ways, which is brilliant because it makes us all kind of the same, ultimately. You can dance like a lunatic at the discos. You can, you know, dress up as cheese folk. You can carry around a fucking cobbled ladder, and no one goes, "Ew, what are you doing?" Everyone goes, "Yay!" You know, it's an amazing space, and it's filled with amazing, beautiful people. And I genuinely couldn't be without the Fannibal fandom. It's helped me find so much about myself through experiencing, you know, interactions with people who are just those few steps further into knowing who they are, or way further into knowing who they are. People like, you know, Tiger Prawn and Jack, and, you know, as a trans person who's only just realizing that they are trans, there was no fear about talking about that type of thing with them. I met this wonderful trans guy called Sam, and we bonded over it. And he's great. He really is great. I remember Max telling me, Tiger Prawn telling me, his conversation at the meet and greet with HUGH DANCY, that Hugh didn't realize how many trans men were actually at the con. And Max said to him, I'm not saying verbatim, I'm saying basically what he said to him was like 95% of the men in that audience are trans men. And they're the only you only recognize them, they're passing. There's so many other men, trans men in that audience who aren't passing. And Hugh was a little bit taken aback by that. Max said that he was like, well, okay, I didn't realize that. But it's,
yeah, they all look just like your character. I might
yeah, yeah. We all have curly hair and wear plaid, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a wonderful like stencil of masculinity to follow. I wish all men would become Will Graham. Why not? One of the great things I think we love about Will's character is he's not a gross, like, macho, you know what I'm like, the gross parts about.
Yeah,
men,
he's,
you know,
totally masculine, but also doesn't have to play up to that masculinity.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have to force it. It just happens to be there. It's like an inner strength, a quietness, that, you know, an inner power. He doesn't have to walk around with his biceps out and grunting at people. He can just exist quietly in a space, and it's very masculine. It's very sexy.
It is. And it makes him a great template for anyone who's looking to emulate. I highly support that.
Literally no toxicity there at all, other than the murdering and cannibalism, you know.
Well, we're all over that at this point. I mean, come on.
What's a little cannibalism between friends, man? Whatever.
Exactly. If you are what you eat, Your Honor, my client is an innocent man.
Absolutely. And it is only cannibalism if you see yourself as equals. So
Yeah. No, it's yes,
yeah,
100% all of that.
to quote the man.
We definitely purposely left out talking about the cosplay in general when my wife and I were discussing our trip because we were like, oh man, let's tell this story. And then I thought about it some more and I was like, I feel like this needs to be its whole episode, obviously, because we were going to interview you. And then on top of that, I kind of wanted to remember through it with you because I don't always trust what I remember or don't remember. Especially because we're all in a heightened state at that time.
God, we were hyper. I
Yes,
think we
we
were
were.
louder than all of the crowds at the tables when we were screeching for each other. Every time
Yes.
someone walked out, they introduced, there was only about 20 of us back there. And I swear we were louder than the 200 people in the auditorium. We were really screeching for one another.
I was losing my shit. Okay, so rewind to and Dream, you were not here for some of this, so then this will be kind of your first foray into the behind the scenes. Okay, so we all went to this random room. Was the photo op room?
It was the photo op room, yeah.
But the photographer was there and he took all of our pictures individually and as a group, which was really fun.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I know. It was
fun.
great. And so, okay, let's run through our cast of characters here. So obviously there's me dressed as cheese folk. You show up with this cardboard ladder, wearing your normal clothes.
Oh God, okay, shall I give you the story of the ladder? Do you want to hear about the ladder?
Bring us to this point, where you suddenly appeared in front of me holding this cardboard ladder.
Oh God, okay, so when you're like, I got loads of time to do this fucking thing, it's gonna be really easy. Well, I left it until 2 days before I was leaving for the con to actually build this 3D ladder. Almost gave up at one point. It's really hard to make a cardboard ladder. I mean, I don't know why. Loads of different pieces of cardboard. Ultimately, though, she's made out, because she is a she. She's made out of do you know the toilet paper company Who Gives a Crap?
First I know, but I do now.
Yeah. So the ADHD means that I quite often forget essentials on shopping lists. So I subscribe to toilet paper that gets delivered because then I don't have to think about it. There's always toilet paper in my house because I hate running out of that stuff. And they come in these really big boxes. And the last delivery we got, I kept the box because I was planning to put ex-husband's things in it to help him pack, but he used everything.
Here's what I think about all your stuff. It's going in the crap
have a crap box. So it was there and I was like, that's perfect. It's huge. I'll cut it up and I'll slice down the thing. I bought really nice brown paper, packing tape, the same colour as the cardboard. And I was like, it's going to be so easy. I can do arts and crafts. I can do anything. I can't. Cut my finger twice. Almost cried. My 8-year-old had to calm me down at one point because I'm like, it's not working. He's like, Mummy, it's going to be okay. You can build it. You can build it.
If you build it, he will lean.
Well, if you build it, people will laugh. I think that was mostly what was in my head. Like, I have to do it because I talked to a friend of mine about it, Vic, and I was like, Vic, will this be really funny? And they were like, yeah, you just do it. You have to do it. Okay, cool. Because self-motivation doesn't help. But if I have friends going, you can do this, do it, you must do this thing. You've told me you would now, then I'll absolutely do it. ADHD. So I made the ladder. What I didn't do was measure the length of the ladder to how I was going to get it into the suitcase that I planned to take. Laid it, made it, photographed it. Look at me, I'm so clever. And then cut it in half and then laid it on this suitcase that I was taking. It didn't fit, obviously, because I didn't fucking measure anything. Why would I measure anything? Who does that? What I ultimately did was she went in two halves. She went into a black bag because I got on a coach to Heathrow because I don't live that far from Heathrow, really. It's about 2 hours. She went in the luggage rack at the top because the driver was like, shall I put this under here with your suitcase? I was like, no. I had to think 6 hours. Absolutely not. This is coming with me, Got to the hotel, got to the room, chilled out with Annie. because I had a roommate this year and it was just so much fun. It was ridiculous. Chilled out, found loads of Fannibals, lots of hugs, lots of love. Saw Mercedes again. Love Mercedes. Went back to the room, taped her back together. Kind of, it was enough. She was enough. She was stuck, the poles were stuck together. When it came time for the cosplay, everyone was still in the foyer because that was amazing foyer for hanging out in and sitting about. It was fantastic. It was so much better than the last hotel we were at, and I'm really glad Sean moved it back to the Renaissance. But everybody was still there, and they'd said to me, "You have to go to the photograph room, right at the back," which meant I would have to walk through the lobby where everyone was sitting, and everybody had said to me, "What are you doing for the cosplay?" Because I'd said I was. I was like, "No, it's going to be a surprise." I thought, shit, how am I going to get this massive fucking ladder through the lobby of the hotel without anyone seeing it? So I took the sheet off my bed in my hotel room, kind of wrapped it up in the sheet, and basically looked like I was carrying a body out of my room, wrapped in my bed sheet.
Which was on brand, though, for the con.
Kind of on brand for the con. Got some funny looks from cleaning staff because they always seem to be on my floor for some reason, and I'm walking with a bed sheet with a thing wrapped, and I was just like, "Hey, how you doing?" Got in the lift, and there was really nice, good-looking pilot man in there, and I'm just holding the sheet, cardboard ladder sheet wrap thingy, and he kind of looked and was like, "Hey," and then I Mission Impossible because most of the people had actually gone into the room by the time I came down in the lift. So there weren't a lot of people there, but I did kind of run from pillar to chair group, making my way downtown across the lobby to get to the photograph room, hiding the sheet ladder, ninja style, kind of just like, "Oh, no, don't see it." To get into the room. Absolute sweaty mess by the time I got in there. But that is the adventure of the ladder and how I got her to down there into the
and that's
I then had to take that sheet back. I had to put that sheet back in my backpack and take it back to my room because it was the sheet off my actual bed I was sleeping on, whereas I'd have just been sleeping on mattress. So I then had to go back to my room and remake my bed, with the sheet that I'd wrapped the ladder up in.
First question, did the ladder imprint upon the sheet because it is a holy item? Oh.
No, but it did get a bit wet and grubby in one corner from kind of being about. And then I opened my bag and I put I don't know, I tucked it under the mattress. It was like, I've slept on worse, trust me. A slightly damp sheet is not really going to bother me. But no, they didn't imprint the Shroud of Turin onto the sheet. There was no ladder impression.
Well, it's surprising because it was a very spiritual moment for the fandom. So I just thought, maybe. Sorry.
I genuinely thought people were going to ask for bits of it.
Okay, so then our paths converge. So I'm in the room. People are like getting all their stuff together. We're waiting to get our pictures taken, and I was like, "Holy shit! There's this cardboard ladder. This is amazing." I think I was like, "Yes, this is vibing with kind of the out there-ness," because you and I obviously interpreted the assignment a lot more differently than the people who were like literally dressed up as the characters. So
they get that every year though. I think how many wheels did she count? She lined us all up, didn't she? She kind of lined us all up and then counted the wheels to make sure they were spaced out enough and there weren't a wheel and then another person, so that there was a good smattering of wheels throughout the queue of cosplayers from when we all walked out there. But she made me go first.
I'll just shout out one of the people I met who was really cool. Pretty sure the name is James. Yes, James and his friend were there, and James was dressed up as the Raven Stag, but it would look like a skull.
Yeah.
Right? And if you listened, you could kind of hear this like creepy hiss noise coming from a recorder on the inside of the skull.
He growled, didn't he?
It was
superb.
Nice. And so I was like, "Oh, you know what, your whole thing is reminding me of, what's that, like that Welsh Christmas thing where the people come around and they've got like the mare skulls on the sticks and they come to your house," and he's like, "Oh," and he says the name of it, which I can't pronounce, and he's like, I actually make those. Like, that's one of my jobs that I do is make these, whatever they are, the like Christmas horse skull puppet.
Yeah, if the Christmas dairy knocks on your house, and if you don't give him a treat, he eats you, I think. Because the Welsh, they're brilliant like that.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
I clocked that right away, and I was like, it shows in your work, like I can see the reference back to it, and it was really cool. And I think he ended up winning at like third place or something.
Yeah.
That was really, really cool. And he had the shoes that made it look like hooves and everything. And I was talking to him later, and he said he was maybe going to be up for some film roles soon. Like he was going to do some acting and some different things. And his friend was from Colorado. I need to reach out and connect with them because they were super, super nice. And then we had my other friends of line standing was Cookie Monster, Hannibal, and Will.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. I love that. I cannot imagine being in a fursuit, then with a suit on top of that, in all that heat. I'd have just died. I'd have died.
I think the real went like that was some stamina. Like if you imagine this person as having a D&D stat sheet, like the Constitution score would have been God, 18, 19, and then plus some kind of modifier. It was just like I did not even. So yes, kudos. And they won something too, I believe. I should have written all this down, of course, before we recorded, but
third or runner up. I can't remember. It was
for groups or something.
Their reward. So I'm not sure where they came in the standing with that. Yeah.
But yeah, super nice fellas. We had I was shocked that this person didn't win anything, but the Victoria's Secret angel, that was the blood angel.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
She handmade that. She handmade that bralette and everything.
I know. I was like, I walked up to her and I was like, I would like to concede my victory to you now before this even begins. It was pretty much all I could do not to fall on my knees and just be like, can you just like say a blessing over me? Because I am like in the goddess's presence right now.
I'd be quite happy to let her watch me sleep.
Yeah. No, I'd be
standing there at the end of my bed. That would be not.
I love my wife.
I'm single. My phone number is 07.
If you're out there. No. Okay, and then we had blood spitting Abigail Hobbs. We had Beach Marlana. They were gorgeous ladies, weren't they? Oh my God, their Christians were just
wild when they came out. I was like, just to a T, just oh my God.
It was so season 4. Like it's exactly how I'd imagine they would be. Just they served absolutely. They were goddesses walking out there. Just perfect.
Absolutely.
It's perfect.
And then we had a group that had done their blood with sequins, which I thought was really smart.
Yeah. I remember them.
I don't remember all the characters that were in there. I'm pretty sure there was a Hannibal. There was another Ravenstag. It was more of a like costume. Didn't have a mask.
Yeah. It was Patsy as well. He had the duct tape on his mouth and then he opened up guts in or guts out.
Bro looked just like him.
Oh, so much like him.
I was like, was he here?
Yeah, I mean, he just looked like him to begin with, and then I mean, the guts were great. It was like simple but very striking. So that was another one I was like, that's so cool. Like, good for him. I think he might have been working the con too. So we appreciate your service. This was an interesting one. Interesting take. Love that. It's kind of like an AU of a costume. Was Freddie Lowndes the burlesque dancer?
We met them and talked to them about a little bit about the costume and stuff. I don't know if you remember that.
Kind of. I think it was outside, as I recall.
Yeah, we were outside. Yeah.
I think it was actually before, because they were like, I have a very interesting take on Freddie Lowndes. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, we were really excited to see that.
I danced with her so much at the disco that night.
All of those costumes were so ballsy.
I'm sorry if we're forgetting anybody. We may have to go back, and if I recall more, we'll have to look through some pictures and just see.
We can't forget TikTok Will and his nurse.
Oh, that's right. Matthew Brown and Will. But it was your TikTok
Yes.
crush. Can I say that?
Okay.
He's legal, right?
Listen. Yes, I'm a follower on TikTok of this gentleman, and he's a pretty good cosplayer. So
Yeah, I recognized him immediately, and I was like,
did too.
holy shit.
I think he might have been working the con actually.
Yeah, I think so too. Because he took our bags or something when we were getting our pictures done.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh my god, there
there.
he is, celebrity.
I did that with you guys.
Oh my god.
Well, at the Fannibal dinner, someone said, "Oh, thanks, DB," and very distinctive. You know, there is no one but DB Mars. You know, and I turned and I was like, 6'3", DB Mars. Oh my god! And I literally turned to. I think it was Arachne sitting beside me, and I was like, "Jesus Christ, that's DB Mars!" And they were like, "Yeah," and I was like, "I'm gonna have to go for a second," and just kind of fanboyed all over you. And I came over and. Are you DB Mars? Oh my god! I can't believe it's you.
I mean,
celebrity.
I was just so stoked that we had patrons there, you know,
Yeah.
like people we could actually
Anybody recognized us, that anybody listens to.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Oh, Lou, are you doing your makeup right now? Are you listening to this? Okay. So then you had to go first.
I
And
did.
and you went out there holding the ladder, and then
Don't. So I wasn't going to do it.
you
I
were
wasn't going to do it. So I got to the okay. So I have these. So the introverted part of my brain was going, "Don't fucking do it. Don't go out there. Oh my god!" But the ADHD part of my brain was like, "We're fucking doing this. We spent 6 hours making this ladder. Go, go, go!" And talking to the lady that brought us out, who made us queue, who's kind of hyping us up and stuff. I was okay, so I was fine knowing that the guests were out there because last year's cosplay, Mass didn't come. You know, he was being a grumpy old peepaw and he didn't want to eat a costume. But I was cool with it being Demore, with it being Ella, yeah, absolutely fine. They're my dudes, not a problem. And then someone said, "Hugh's there." And I had a mini panic attack.
well, yeah, because you were about to
Everyone
basically
does.
tell him he was a total slut.
That and the fact that at the opening ceremony, I instantly burst into tears as soon as he walked out on stage. I could not control myself. The big grown up that I am. He took 2 steps and I was. All the pictures I have of the opening ceremony were taken by Jack because I was like, "Please take my camera." So they were all taken by him. I was an absolute mess. I took a selfie before the meet and greet started. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't leave my wife for me either, really, to be honest. Looking like that, sitting beside him. I was like, "Oh, you." At the meet and greet, I was actually sitting beside him. I got the chair that was turned around. Fucking hell.
Shut up. You did?
I did.
Oh
I did.
my God.
I had no idea what was happening. So Jack said, "Put your camera away," and grabbed my hand, and we were suddenly marching, and I'm sobbing across the lobby, and he's marching me across the lobby, and we queued, and then he went, "Sit." So I just sat down. I was being told what to do. This was fine. I was very quite happy to be told what to do. And then other people joined us. We actually had Hunter at our table, which was just brilliant. God, who else was sitting there? Anyway, and then she goes, "So at every table is a chair turned facing outwards, and that's where the guest is going to sit." And it was right fucking beside me. And I looked at Jack and I went, "You bastard." And he because he knew it would mean that Hugh was sitting there. And I managed to have a really nice conversation with him. I didn't cry at all. I was like, "Hey, what's it like being a dad of 3?" You know, I asked him about his kids. We talked about our kids. He's got 3. I've got 3. It's a big difference in parenting. He said, "Thank you for asking. That's a really nice question." I was like, "I got you, mate." I didn't do that, but I was like, "Oh, you're welcome." And then as he stood up, I surreptitiously leaned back and sniffed.
Yes.
Because,
That's everything.
you got to know what a man smells like, haven't you? Or get a whiff in while you can. That was the first time I was that close to him. So I was like, I'd been crying too much. I couldn't smell anything.
Your olfactory senses were not working.
I know.
You got
But
another
then-
chance though later on.
I had plenty. I had plenty. I had loads of time. I bought quite a few photos, so I was beside him for quite a few times. So I did get other chances to sniff him, but he made it 2 steps away and I burst into tears again. But I didn't cry in front of him, which I think is a win. So
Well, I mean, it's like I said on the last show, the ADHD superpower of all of a sudden you're like, this is an emergency, and you're and now I'm totally calm and in control somehow. I don't know how, but let's just pretend this is a job interview.
And I'm like, when he made a joke, and everything appropriate. I didn't ask to lick him. I didn't do anything that my hindbrain was telling me to do. Like just lay down and put your head on his lap. Didn't do any of that. I was really polite. He thanked me for my question. I was like, we're queuing up to go out onto she told, oh my God, had that direction of go across to the left and then round the dance floor and then back across to the right to come out the doors. Do you remember how we were directed to do that? Like,
yes, it was similar to a breast cancer awareness ribbon shape. That was the only way that I could explain it in my head to myself.
Yeah. So come on, go to the left. She was very specific about it. We were like, okay, I've got a lot of things thinking about at the moment. So go to, and then come out again. So I'm standing at the front and someone says, Hugh's out there. I have this internal panic attack. I start sweating like you wouldn't believe. And the heart's going, and I was like, I looked at the woman who was leaving, was like, well, I can't do this because Hugh's there. And she was like, of course you can. It's just him. And I was like, well, I can't. She was like, he's just a man. And I was like, do you know what? He is just a man. He's just a man. And she was like, he is. He's hairy. He's just a man. He probably spits. And I was like, oh, I bet he pisses on the toilet seat. He's just a man. And she was like, yeah. Ugh. And I was like, yeah, I can do this. And then she went, God. And I started working out.
I need to find this person. That is the best hyping of anyone. Yeah. I mean, that was exactly the right thing to say.
Oh, it was spot on for me because I'm going through the whole I'm divorced kind of cis men kind of thing. I mean, obviously, we won't go into it too deeply, but it was just at that point what my brain needed to hear, like, oh, he's just a man. Oh, he spits. And I was like, oh, but he pisses on the toilet seat. And she was like, God. And I was like, fuck yeah, I can do this. And kind of sassed my way out there.
But what an angel for pumping you up like that.
Love her.
Okay, so you came out. Were you aware of the reaction that you were hearing from like the crowd? Was it more like you were just like, because to me, I felt like I was almost in like a wind tunnel where I was aware that there was a lot of noise, but I wasn't really sure what it all was and how much of it was just like me and my tambourine.
So it sounded like applause, but it kind of faded into, this could be applause because everybody's really happy to be here, not specifically for me. That's how I kind of got through it. Like, they're here because they're cheering on the cosplayers. They're not here to cheer on Winston. And that's kind of how I battled through that. It didn't help that I then could hear people going, Winston, don't block him out. I didn't make any kind of eye contact with anybody.
Same.
Because I thought if I look at anyone, I'm going to crap and run off, I got up to Sean and he didn't immediately give me the microphone. I thought, you bastard, I'm coming up here for the microphone. You've been told the first person wants the microphone. Why am I having to fucking ask for it? You should be handing it to me, dick. So I had to put my hand and go, may I? And he was like, yeah. And I was just,
it's so hard to be me, Sean.
Don't. Don't say yes to something and then make it like it's really a lot of effort. Yeah. If it said no and said I can't say the poem, whatever, I'd have just gone out a ladder, spun it around a bit, walked off, waved to everybody and had done with. It really wasn't a problem. I call him Herman Munster.
Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
The Grim Reaper. He really did. That was...
Sean, thank you for the microphone, my lovely. Would you like a dramatic reading?
Yes, please.
So the poem, I kind of wrote half the day before and half on the coach because I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I said like this, a funny limerick or something? Because I was just going to do the ladder. And then I kind of wrote the poem and I text again my friend Vic, who is my biggest supporter on the ladder thing. I was like, Vic, does this work? Do you think I could read this out? It does say on the website that if you have a bit or something or a piece of music you want played, you can ask. You can always ask. Like I'm a big believer in asking for anything, and someone will either say yes or they'll say no. So yeah, this is the reading of the poem. Let me just lube. I am the ladder in Hannibal's office. It's quite posh in here, but I'm not standoffish. I've witnessed some things, epic fights, piano strings, Hannibal climbing me just in his socks, using my rungs on an arm till it pops. But my greatest achievement, if I may say so, is feeling Will Graham arch his back like a hoe. I thank you.
Somebody get this Winston a book contract immediately.
I will write you ridiculous Hannibal poems until I'm dead. I'm quite happy to. I'll take commissions. I'll take commissions. I'm on Twitter. Come and find me.
Yeah, I mean, do it. Obviously, it works. That was like a magic incantation that casted a spell upon us all. And
I had no idea how they reacted, how the guests reacted, because I kind of like my whole brain went, right, we're done, run.
Yep.
You know. So I put my phone in my pocket. I kind of did a sassy walk out of there. I saw Mercedes, I saw Max, I saw a couple of friends, and I was like, right, yeah, they're all cheering. This is fantastic. I've obviously done well, and I didn't spit or vomit for anyone. Fantastic. And just kind of left. I just left. And it was only until afterwards that people were sending me pictures of Hugh's reaction. But I was like,
I saw that.
he guffawed. He guffawed at me. I made the most beautiful man on the planet laugh.
Mhm.
And I think I've peaked. There is nothing I can do with my life now.
It's time to retire.
Literally, I want it on my gravestone. Made Hugh Dancy laugh. And I'd be fine. Nothing else. Like, great mother, lovely partner, world peace. No, I don't want any of that on my gravestone. I want made Hugh Dancy guffaw until he was red in the face.
Yes. Okay. So then you came back. I was in line. I did my thing.
We were cheering each other on like lunatics back there.
I was jumping up and down. Like, I don't jump, people. Okay. Like,
She's too tall to jump.
Normally I don't have to jump, but Mama's knees don't really do that so much. You weren't really having to wait in line, obviously, because you were the first one out there. So I was like waiting my turn, and you kind of really couldn't see. I could see people walk away from me, but then when they would cross, I couldn't see them anymore. And then they would come back, and then it was the next person's turn, and it was just like, I don't know, it was dreamlike and strange.
And then she brought us back, so we were standing at kind of the entrance to the hall, you know, where that chunk of square seating was.
Yes.
And we kind of spread ourselves out around there in front of both the exits. I just remember cheering everyone on, just being really happy every time a name was called out, and there were lots of, yeah, you did it, woo, you know, we're brilliant, this is fantastic kind of thing going on. And I was hoping to at least be a runner-up, you know, for a cardboard ladder, which was maybe, you know, presumptuous of me, like, especially the hard work that had gone into so many of the other costumes. And the two runners-up went, and I was like, fun. This is absolutely fun. I've had so much fun. I am not competitive. I've never been a competitive person. I lose well and I win well. You know, it was just joining in. It was being part of that cosplay kind of collective that was just so much fun. That we're all kind of just this group of really talented people just being like, yeah, this is fantastic. You did really well, and really hyping each other up. And I thought, run them up. Didn't get it. Not a problem. Still standing there screaming for everybody. And then Hugh comes out. I didn't really hear what he was saying because we were so far back. We were really far back by the doors, and people were still being really kind of quite loud. And I didn't really hear what he said. I heard him say, well, object. And people started screaming and cheering. And dumbass that I am, actually looked around all and went, who bought an object? Who bought an object? What?
Yeah, I think I had that same thing. I was like, wait a second. Wait. And then this sort of like dawning moment kind of came up for me.
Because I didn't hear him say my name. He did say Winston as the ladder. I didn't hear that. The crowd was too noisy. So I'm looking about like a tit going, who bought an object? And then I'm being pushed from behind. It's you, you've won. Go up. And again, the woman that was taking us around, she was like, it's you, come here. And I was like, what? Did this? Like, what? Are you crazy?
This ladder came here on a bus.
You know, she's made out of a toilet paper box. Are you mad?
Like, who gives a crap?
What the fuck is happening?
The Who Gives a Crap toilet paper company. This is the best endorsement of your product. Wipes asses and wins amazing cosplay contest.
The screaming was so intense. And I kind of looked about, and there's Caden. I don't know if you met Caden, who's just almost crying, looking at me. I was like, don't stop crying, Caden. And then there's Mercedes, who's just being gorgeous. And there was God, Stoney, there was Sarah, and everyone. And I was like, where's Jill? I can hear Jill screaming for me. And I was like, this has to be some kind of sick. And I'm laughing. I'm literally almost in hysterics walking up there. And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, the beautiful human. He's just right there in front of me. And he's beckoning me to come closer to him. And I was like,
oh my God. Can
I rub up, like, get on my knees and rub up against his knees like a cat? Do you know what I mean? Like, would it be inappropriate to crawl towards you, sir? You know, and he's making eye contact and he's smiling. And it was not me, it was him. I walk up to him. He turns, and body language suggests is that I then turn and stand beside him. You know how you can kind of, obviously I'm not supposed to stand in front of him. He kind of turned and I was like, oh, okay, I'll back up here. And then he grabbed the top of the ladder to turn it around so that it was facing the crowd, and he leaned against it. And I died, basically.
I think the whole fandom died.
I think everybody did, didn't they? I don't think I've heard a louder crowd, to be honest.
It was like you just did the winning touchdown in a Super Bowl game of sports ball, okay? With the cheerleaders, and Beyonce played the halftime show. And it was like 2 seconds before the game would be over, and it should have been, and then there was a half-court shot and the puck went, I don't know. I'm just talking about sports now, something. Anyway, that was it. That was the moment.
Yeah. That was the moment.
So then he was closer. Did you smell him at this point?
Oh God, he was just there. And there was, I remember the camera guy was there again, and he was down in the corner, and Hugh turned to look at him and I turned to look at him. I remember pulling, if you look at these pictures, DB, I swear, like, I don't remember pulling this face, but I'm kind of biting my bottom lip. And go, like, kind of like a, oh, sexy.
No one is going to blame you for this, okay? This literally was what we all would have done.
But yeah, he leaned on it, and he's just perfect. Up close, he's even more perfect than anyone can imagine a human being ever being.
That's what we've been telling people ever since that fan meet, and we lost our fucking minds.
Please
get it.
Yeah. Crying in the bathroom.
Oh yeah. Dreamed cry.
My cries were just echoing.
Yeah.
I said, please, nobody walk in here.
You sobbing in the bathroom. I'm sobbing at the opening ceremony because he's walked on stage, because he's just so perfect. So, you get it.
The poor girl next to me at the fan meet, tears she made no sound. tears just rolling down her eyes. I held her hand.
I mean,
HUGH DANCY has the power to literally reduce people to tears with his presence, basically.
That's so
He
wild.
is perfect. And I went to Red Dragon 6, so I met Mass, and he is gorgeous. Oh my God. He put his arm around me for my photo op.
Nice.
And he really held on to my shoulder, and I said, "Oh, can I put my arm?" And he said, "Yeah, put your arm around." He is firm. Oh my God, his back muscles
Hot.
firm. Oh, solid man.
It's
Very
getting hot
nice.
in this styrofoam box I'm sitting in.
Good
There's no
hands.
airflow in here.
Good grip. He had a good grip on my shoulder, and then he.
Well, we
backed
all
me on
know
the
he's
shoulder.
good at choking people.
Yeah. He's a handsome man, but seeing Hugh in person,
He's like angelic. That's a word for him.
he's just so lovely as well. What helps is he genuinely is just so lovely as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's got this wonderful presence, chill, kindness, and confidence, which is always sexy.
Mm-hmm. With an underlying, I would say, hint of dorkiness.
Oh God, such a dork.
You know what I mean? Like this, it's like confident, and then deep within, there's still like a little theater kid.
Yeah, he's just like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Why do people like me? I'm just some guy. I'm just some guy. You know,
a bit of anxiety too. I would say a bit of.
He's such an introvert. He's a real introvert. Yeah. You can tell. He really pushes himself to be out in these type of things, which is, I think, maybe why he doesn't do them very often.
Right. I mean, I'd be drained, and I do this all the time, all day long, just talking to people. But yeah. That's why he, what was it, my dear, skedaddled at the end.
He liked it. He was off.
But just imagine somebody like him putting himself out there in a position that's not always comfortable for him, for us, because he knows what it means to us. That is what made me emotional about the whole thing, because I could tell he had some trepidation and some anxiety just by like nonverbals and things. And he did it. He did it because he knows how important it is to us.
I feel like he was expecting it to be like the madness of NYCC or ECC. Yeah, I think he was expecting it to be the craziness of those huge, massive cons.
Right.
But I think maybe after the meet and greet, and maybe the next day when he had a little bit of sleep and you realised that, none of us going to bite him or anything. Well, we would, but we're not allowed to.
We were on our best behavior, okay?
I am so proud of everybody.
Yeah, all the panel questions were lovely. Nobody made any inappropriate comments. I mean, I had many inappropriate thoughts.
But everybody was regulated, okay? Everyone took their medicine.
And I think maybe that's what kind of relaxed him a little bit. So when it came to his panel, he just seemed so chill. Like, I think he realised that there actually aren't that many of us out there. It's not your thousands upon thousands of people. There's about 500 people here, if that. And we're all
as long as you don't look at the things we do online and say, "Oh, no, actually quite like
you on Twitter. Do not go on.
Do not, don't."
No. I'm very much glad that he is a tech grandpa. That
we don't want you to know.
No,
protect his fragile virgin eyes and ears.
When he sat down at our meet and greet, he came out of nowhere. For one, Jesus Christ.
Okay, that happened to us.
Right?
Oh my God. It was so scary. We're like talking.
He just went, don't make me interrupt you, and just fucking sat down. I was like, who are you? Like, what's happening?
He was so quick and quiet. And I turned, I was talking to DB and talking to Felix, and then all of a sudden I turn around and there he is, right?
He's right there.
It's what the kids are calling a jump scare.
Right?
I said jump scare, major jump scare.
We were with Hunter. Hunter has created the Cards Against Fannibals parody card game.
Amazing.
And they had brought it with them.
Oh my God.
So while we were waiting for the guests to come round, Hunter was whap, and put it on the table. And we were like, yes, let's go. So we were playing. right? And the Scrabble, when Hugh sat down and we weren't expecting him to get those fucking cards off the table, so he wouldn't see them, was
We must protect him.
because Lara Jean had sat down and we didn't do it, and she fucking picked them up and read them. Hunter was like beetroot face, so embarrassed, because the first thing that Lara Jean picked up was an incredibly itchy pussy just on the card. And she, beautiful human, she looked at us and she kind of went, "Oh, what are you playing here then?" You know, she was well for it. She thought it was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Great sense of humor. But we hadn't scrabbled to put it away, you know, because Ricky had behaved himself. He said, "What are you playing?" We said, "No, please don't touch the cards. You genuinely don't want to see what's written on them." He was like, "Okay, fair enough." And then we didn't do it. And she was like, "What are you playing?" And we were like, "No, don't touch the card." And she was like, "Why?" And then grabbed and picked it up and it said itchy pussy. You know, we were like, "That's why, Jesus Christ, woman." But Hugh came out of nowhere, and the Scrabble to hide those fucking cards was hilarious.
Hungry hippos, baby.
We were arm scooping them off the table onto our laps just so that he wouldn't see them. Just grabbing them off.
He's our precious little baby, and he will not be exposed to our filth.
I think he would have run away crying based on what was written on there. At one point, Jack said to him that we liked his birthday cake. It was the book with the hand, and it was beautiful. It was very well made. And he said, "Oh, thank you. Wait a second. How did you see my birthday cake?" And Jack went, "It was online. Of course we saw it." And he was kind of a bit bamboozled.
Yeah.
That anybody would care. That anybody would go, "Oh, hey, it's HUGH DANCY's birthday cake." You know, like he was a bit bamboozled about it. He was like, "What?"
We're all like, "Of course we care."
We saw it online. And he went, "Why would you want to say?" Do you know what? Don't tell me.
It's better this way. You need
like,
to
you know what, just stay off the socials, babe. Just don't don't get social media. You just please don't get social media. Have your mind and keep it far away from debauchery, please.
You know, it's a healthy standpoint probably we all could learn from. But where else are we going to talk about, you know, cannibal Yowie? Nowhere. So what are you going to do?
I have no one physically in my life that is as obsessed with Hannibal as I am. So if I didn't have Hannibal Twitter, I would be a little adrift in the sea, to be honest. I kind of need it. I need the community.
I've been converting people in my life. So I made Ian of the Council of Ians watch it, first of all. And then recently, one of my bestest friends, her name is Shannon. So of course, now I tell her that I'm going to go watch Hannibal with Shannibal.
Amazing.
She's got to be a Fannibal. And so like she finishes the series and like she texts me, "Oh, I finished it." And we're kind of talking. And I go, "So when are you going to be ready for the erotic fan fiction?"
Why can I start feeding you this absolute disgusting reading material?
There's like this long pause. These little 3 dots keep coming up and coming down and coming up and coming down. And I go, "How about we just start you with some art, some safe for work art?"
Some nice art, some of the very beautiful, gentle art. Then kind of feed her the non-smutty actual plot fanfics.
Yeah. I don't know any. Did you ever get a chance to smell Hugh? Did you get a scent ever?
So the next, oh God. So before the cosplay, I'd had 2 pictures taken with him, in which I look terrified standing beside him because it's Hugh fucking Dancy. And I remember thinking, am I smiling? I wasn't. I'm grimacing. Those are pictures for the album, not the wall. Said thank you, goodbye, walked away, panic attack outside, needed a fag after the second picture. The next day, so after the cosplay, I had another solo with him, and I had a duo with him and Laura Jean, and I had Ellen as well, and my Jeremy. And there was Ellen's time for her photos op got moved. There was a bit of a clash. And while I was queuing for Ellen, I'd been there for ages, Ellen was running late. So they said be there at 10 instead of 11, and it was closer to 11 when she did finally come. I don't know, whatever.
I blame Sean.
Oh, well, it's easy to blame him. It's probably his fault. But the HUGH solo queue had already started.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to Lena, you know, the German porn lady.
Yeah.
I was like, babe, I'm in both of these pictures. What do I do? And she kind of said, look, just stay with Ellen. And if HUGH comes out first, join him. But if Ellen comes out first, no, go to HUGH. And if Ellen comes out, run to Ellen because her queue will be shorter. Join the HUGH. That's eventually what happened. So I joined the Ellen queue, which was disappointingly short for Ellen Moose. She is wonderful. She's been brilliant in everything I've ever seen her in. And the queue for that was like 8 people. And I was quite like, oh, you know, she's made it all the way here and not many people. Anyway, my opinion on that. So I get to the front of that queue. She looks up, she goes, hey, it's you.
Aww.
I was like, hi, yeah, it's me. She's like, oh my God, you were so good. I was like, oh, thank you. Like, that's really kind of you. Big hug. Great picture. She's hugging me, was smiling. See you later. Yeah, you're really good. Yeah, you too, who I've paid to have a picture with. You're fantastic. Yeah. And then I go back to join the HUGH one. And Lucy, one of the other staff there, she was like, no, don't join the queue, come here. She made me go first.
Again?
For the HUGH solos. Like, I don't want to moan about being first for things, but there are some things you don't want to be first for. And cosplays and photo ops, not the first. I don't want to be first for them.
I mean, you just stepped out of the fucking lunar landing eagle and walked on the moon so that the rest of us could run. You didn't know if that spacesuit was going to hold together.
So I get to the front of the queue. HUGH walks up, check. And he does this. I remember it for second. You know when something in your brain goes, I'm going to remember every single screenshot of this.
Oh, yeah.
He looked up, said, hey, and then really looked and went, oh, hey. And I was like, I'm not going to recognize him. He knows who I am. Turned to Jelly. I was like, he was
yes,
like,
it is me.
Hey, how are you? And I was like, I'm good. I'm a little bit hungover actually. And he was like, well, yeah, fair. I said, how are you? Did you get more sleep? Because we've been talking at the, the fan meet, at the meet and greet about him not sleeping and stuff. And he said, yeah, I feel a lot better today. He said, well done on yesterday. And I was like, oh, well, thank you for picking me. He's like, no, it's not a problem. Those pictures of that solo, he smiled with teeth.
Whoa.
He, like, in the first lot, he's kind of just smiling for camera, closed mouth. There's a little bit of a gap between us. The Sunday morning picture, we're literally pressed against each other, against my body, and he's smiling with teeth, and I've got my arm around, and he's got his arm like right around me, and I died.
It's worth the death, man.
Every second of it.
You've lived this life. Okay. No regrets. Like,
no regrets.
That would have been the moment for the asteroid to hit the Earth and just destroy us all. Like, you would have picked the highest moment. Like, that would have been it. That would have been perfect.
I could have dropped down dead and gone to head and gone, yeah, everything I needed to do in life, done. That makes his body against mine, made him laugh. That was it. It's fine.
Check, please, life.
Yeah, check, done. Hello, waiter. Yeah, I'm out. This is fine.
I'm done. See you play.
Yeah. I still live Easter, kids. Mummy's got to go. It's fun. Finished. I'm absolutely done with life.
Oh my God.
He smelled like, he smells like clean but worn clothing, not sweaty worn, but body warm clothing. And man, just the smell of like slightly musky, not dirty musky, like fresh showered man in slightly warm, worn clothing. and I wanted to rub him all over my face.
They need to make that into a wax melt for my little like wax warmer thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the house should really smell like.
Oh, it was lovely.
That's amazing.
Lovely. No actual perfume. He wasn't wearing any kind of cologne or anything. Like, he didn't have a distinct kind of cologne on. There was no, whatever they Dolce & Gabbana or whatever. No, it was just the smell of a warm, clean man.
Man angel baby.
Man angel baby. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, well, I mean, that just kind of goes, I'm just thrown into the philosophical realm again of just thinking about connections and how like you guys had something to talk about. You'd had a shared experience.
Oh, yeah.
And like that humanized the whole interaction. And then that was visibly apparent in the body language that was captured on the photograph.
I think I scared Hugh for the first op with him because I went, look who I brought. Really awkward. I thought, well, cut out version of your friend. You like it? Look at this little man I brought with me. And I said, oh, can you hold him? And he said, yeah, of course I can. I said, can you hold him like a baby? And he did this instead. He didn't actually hold him like a baby. He kind of just held him really awkward. I was like, what are you doing? I didn't realize he'd done that until the picture was taken.
Well,
so,
like, who
holds the child like that, HUGH DANCY? What are you doing?
Yeah, you're not Michael Jackson dangling him over the side of a fucking porch.
Right. Anyway, so, yeah. And then
right, show me the second one, because I didn't get to see that. Bring back the one where you guys were all relaxed. The Sunday pic.
Oh, okay. So that's one of the Saturday pics. Right. Okay. So the without the mask, because I did get two. So this is me kind of grimacing with him for this. This is the Saturday pic before the cosplay.
Okay.
And I was terrified. If you could see it better, you can kind of see that. That's
how I look at the wedding photos when I was coming back to my husband. No, literally, I was grimacing.
Yeah, our wedding photo is better than your literal wedding photos.
I loved it with you. It was so fun when you showed it. I was just like, oh my God, that's perfect.
It was
perfect.
It certainly was memorable. And
it was
in a dream, so it was meant to be.
Your vision of what you wanted while you were falling asleep.
I know.
And I love that you got up and had to make a note of it because, ADHD brain, when it's gone,
Yeah, dude, if I fell asleep again, that would have never.
It wouldn't have happened.
No way. No
you
way.
have to get up and you have to write it down. So this is my picture of him on the Sunday morning.
Oh, there we go. See, that's just two bros hanging out.
Yeah, it is. He's
boys
with his gorgeous smile.
Teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Smiley, winky eyes.
Yes. His eyes are gleaming. See that it's so simple. Like it makes so much sense.
Makes such a difference. Like I love that picture because it was the double take to me that he had remembered. They had all remembered. Jeremy remembered. Like Jeremy just remembers fucking everybody, and he remembered me from the year beforehand because he's just that type of person. But I'd already had Demore's picture taken, but Ellen remembered. And then when I went for the photo duo op with Hugh and Laura Jean, she remembered. She literally, I stepped up and she looked up and she went, Nada, and just, she remembered, and Hugh remembered. And it was so lovely to have had that connection. It made me kind of shit in my pants before I went out there, kind of worth it.
That's the lesson, kids.
Do it.
Just do it.
Because what you might get afterwards is some people going, that was a bit crap, and you go, yeah, it really was, wasn't it? Or you get HUGH DANCY looking at you and going, oh, hey. And you're like, my daddy remembers me. You get to hold on to that forever. I got to hold on to that forever, Always ask questions. People either say yes or no to you. If they say no, then fine. And if they say yes, then go for it. And always just take that chance, I think. If you fall in your arse, then you can pick yourself back up again, but you might end up going even further and having more fun than you thought you could have. And and doing more wonderful things than you think you could do. And I spent a lot of life kind of being too scared to take chances and kind of just going with the flow and making other people happy rather than making myself happy. And, you know, this past year has been a bit of a holy fuck, who am I, what am I doing kind of thing. I make the choices for me now, and I take the chances for me now, and I'm only reaping benefits from it. You know, I'm only reaping rewards from it. Some of them have been hard, but I'm glad I made them.
You can't always be the number one cosplay winner. When you are, it's fucking awesome.
Every chance you take leads to that.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
one, however many.
You can't win if you don't play. All right.
Absolutely.
Get out there.
I've been asked if I'm going to do it next year.
Do you plan to do the cosplay contest next time? Do you plan to retire a champion?
It's a good question. I have been thinking about it. At the con, when people were like, oh, what are you going to do next year? Like, I was like, well, I could be just every piece of furniture in Hannibal's office, couldn't I? Could be desk next year. And then the year after that could be a chair.
Yeah.
You know, the year after that could come as the stripy curtains, you know. I mean, I could do that.
Your outfit of the curtains, because that works on two levels, because it's also a nod to Gone with the Wind when she makes the dress out of the curtains because there's no fabric, because this is Civil War.
I could be really super, super niche and come as that really ugly horse that Hannibal has behind his office door. Yeah. That's about 1.5 feet high. That's kind of yellow and spotty and stuff. But I don't know if that's too niche. I don't know if anyone will get it. I am as yet undecided. I've been offered to be in a part of a group one and in a duet one with somebody else. And I genuinely don't know. It's not spontaneous enough. I didn't really decide to do the cosplay until like 2 weeks before the con. So
if inspiration strikes you at that time.
Yes, if inspiration strikes me. But I'm quite happy to let the crown go to somebody else from Red Dragon 8. And just, you know, I don't know if I've peaked. Have I peaked? I might have peaked. I mean, I'm literally like, HUGH DANCY leaned on me. I mean, there's not much higher. I made the most beautiful man on the planet before. Yeah. So, you know, I don't think there is a bigger reward than that. So I am as yet undecided about next year's. Oh my God, it was crazy after the cosplay. Like, I wanted to run because I was very overwhelmed.
I'll bet.
Being handed the thing, and then we were laughing, and he made eye contact, and I was like, oh God, I need to decompress. So I tried very, very hard to leave the hall, and I'm not being ungrateful of people wanting to talk to me. It was wonderful. You know, I was more than happy to stop and talk to people. I really did need to decompress and go up to the room. And
if you had had a blood pressure gauge like attached to you, I wonder what the readings would have been.
Absolutely sky high. And I needed a cigarette, and I needed a drink, and I really needed to decompress. And I think, was it Mercedes? He could kind of see me floundering, like, I need to leave. He kind of just went, Winston, let's go and talk over here, and just kind of led me to the lifts. And I was like, thank you so much. And then just kind of like, there you go, go, but I took the ladder back down for the disco because I thought, you know, I'm gonna mooch every bit of this I can, because I've
give
never
the people what they want.
Celebrity.
Give the people what they want.
Found celebrity.
And, like, I've never won anything in my entire life. I've never won a trophy. I've never won a competition. Never done anything. And I was like, this is it. I'm 42. It's the first time it's ever happened. It probably never happen again. So I'm going to milk every drop I can from it. So I took the ladder back down, and God, there were so many pictures being taken in the most debauched positions for people's pictures.
This is what it is to be an icon.
People loved it. And I love the people coming up, and, you know, and they were so nice. They were like, excuse me, can I have a picture with your ladder, please? You know, just really, really polite about it. I was like, yeah, go on, take it. Just don't step on it, because it's not sturdy at all. It will collapse on you. And, you know, by the end of the night, it was being swung around on the dance floor, and people were kind of pumping it a little. I was just like, this is brilliant. I've brought so much joy to everybody that they're all really enjoying this piece of crap that I brought with me. That was kind of falling apart. Took it back up to the room and had to fix it the next morning. She had to be there for Love Crime when the last songs played, you know.
Yes.
She just had to be there. She is in the very bottom, across the bottom of the dance floor of the Last Man Standing picture that we had taken at 2 a.m. She is in that photograph, and everybody that's kind of sitting kind of behind her is reaching out and kind of, someone's got their toe on her and someone's got a hand on her, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful to kind of bring something that so many people got so much joy out of.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't this is only for me and my body type of costume. It was nice to hand it to other people, have fun with it and dance with it and feel pleasure with it. And then she got passed around from table to table, you know, of people dancing and taking pictures and stuff. And it was wonderful to give that joy and happiness to other people at the con. It was the community ladder, you know, she's a horse. She was passed around.
She was the town bicycle.
She really was. She was passed around to every table. It was insane. It was just insane.
It was the most egalitarian thing, because if you think about it, it cost you basically nothing. You
£4 for the tape.
You were reduced, reusing, and recycling.
I was.
And then on top of that, you like were able to share it out with other people. So it was like the fandom's ladder.
She was everybody's ladder, and it was lovely to share. To just share that cosplay around and share the joy and share, you know, that happy moment of everybody just screeching when HUGH DANCY kind of leaned back on me.
Let that have its own beautiful display case in your memory palace.
Yeah.
Forever and ever. I mean, that's just like, what a time. What a time to be alive. What a time to be a Fannibal. Just iconic. Absolutely iconic.
And it's his idea as well. That wasn't. That was. I forgot to mention actually when we were talking about fanfics that I am currently writing part 2 of a fanfic that I wrote. So you can find it on AO3 and my username, which is Winston Dad. The first part is called What the Little Mouse Brings.
Oh yes.
And if you don't like Amigaverse, then don't bother. It's a really, really slow burn. And I have had people moan about how slow of a burn it is. And then I was like, don't worry, it'll come good. And then I was like, oh, I could make this into a 2-parter. So I did. And it's even slower now.
Motherfuckers.
Even slower. If anyone wants to have a visit and have a little read of that one, some kudos would be appreciated.
Give us a little teaser.
This will be our fic of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Hannibal is himself. I think it's quite canon himself. He's an alpha. He is driving to a conference and his car breaks down. And he goes with the mechanic who tows his car back to the house. And the mechanic is incredibly rude to him. So he kills him. And while he is in that house, he sees a child scrabbling about who's dirty, malnourished, follows him down into the basement, and that is where he finds Will chained to a bed and thinks, shit, well, I don't kill children. What do I do? And takes Will and Adam, it turns out is what the boy is called, back to his house. And it's a story of how their relationship develops and how they navigate Will having no trust whatsoever in anyone, and Hannibal really being quite pissed off that he's kind of falling for somebody because he's like, I don't need this. I'm an alpha. I don't need to look after somebody and their child. This is ridiculous, you know.
What's this nurturing shit?
Yeah. And it's just how their relationship develops, and it's a really, really slow burn into that. There is no smut. There's no sex. It is just pure relationship navigation and earning trust with each other. We're in the second part and they still haven't kissed. So it's a real slow burn. Really slow. It's kind of angsty though.
Yeah,
people love it.
It sounds angsty, and I know I've read the beginning. I don't know if it was the first, because I remember the scene very vividly of the basement and going, you know, all of that stuff, and just being like, oh my god, what's he gonna do, you know? So yeah, recommend. I got to go back and get caught up. Even though there's no kissing, I will forgive you. Maybe this will be good for you, Dream.
You know, you can't read things without sex in them, Dream. You know, it's okay to read things with plot. Okay? We think of emotions, not just penises.
It's for me.
See, penises and emotions.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the
My
dream.
mixture.
Penises and emotion.
You take the emotions, they're in like a jar, and you take the penis and you mix it up like a stir stick, a
sounds kinda
swizzle
good.
stick, if you will.
Ooh, not a swizzle stick.
Is that the name of this episode of the podcast then? Penises and emotions.
The swizzle stick with DB
The
Morris.
swizzle dick.
Now you guys know I'll know the secret of my writing. It's the swizzle stick.
Just a little sprinkle of emotions. Slap a penis in there. And then the plot just puffs out in the smoke and out the top.
Yeah, that's how it works, you know? What can I say? I mean, some people ask me if it's a gift from God or something.
And it's just a swizzle stick.
It's just the swizzle stick.
Just a swizzle stick.
It's our
That's
Lord
what it
and
is.
Savior Jesus Christ swizzle stick.
But it is. That's what it is. All hail the swizzle stick.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Do you love the Feast is Life? Well, guess what? We're not as rich as Count Hannibal Lecter VIII. Our incomes are closer to Will Graham's dad fixing boat motors. Head on over to Patreon and join our famished Fannibals Club. You'll get access to the show notes, extra helpings of bonus content, including...
Oh, I forgot to fill that in. Well, you're gonna get right now this doing some extra audio where I'm reading Hannibal Rising and then doing some research and deep dives into those chapter by chapter. And speaking of a slow burn, we haven't even gotten to the actual story yet because I'm doing things like researching the paratext and reading the entire body of work of a poet that's mentioned in the first page. So if you want to hear that,
It's very DB coded.
and then we just posted some trip pictures as well.
Yep, and I have more. I have some other ideas for posts about Red Dragon Con, just to give people that weren't able to be there a little front row view.
Absolutely. Well, we gotta get a beautiful like collage of all of the hues reacting to the ladder.
Yeah,
That's gonna appear on Winston's grave. So
Got to start saving up now. Yeah.
fun fact, I have my gravestone already, but that's a story for another day.
I hope there's room for me, DB. And
Oh, yes. We'll see what we can do.
okay.
And then you can have on your joint headstone that picture of you being married by Hugh
That's right.
on the little porcelain thingy.
Yeah, just pry my actual husband's name right off of it.
Okay.
Yeah, just scratch it off. It'll come
It'll
off.
go
Just
before
scratch it
me.
off. It'll be fine.
Okay.
So yeah, anyway, join the Patreon. Do it. All the cool kids are there. Like the iconic Winston. So
Hello.
you should check it out. If you enjoyed this episode more than we enjoyed staring at the back of HUGH DANCY's glorious ears at the fan meet, it would be really super awesome of you to subscribe, leave a rating, and let others know what you think with a review. Don't forget to share with your friends. Follow us on social media. We are on Twitter X, A Dream Within 13, and DB Mars 33. On Tumblr, DB Mars and A Dream Within. Even TikTok, A Dream Within 13 and DB Mars 8. And if you're a responsible person with a conscience, you probably are on Blue Sky, which good for you. We're there too with the same handles. And we also have handles for like the show, which is just The Feast is Life, and an email for that and a bunch of other socials. And sometimes we update them, but feel free to slide into our DMs anytime. And I guess I'm reading the end too. So thank you so much for listening. Remember, if you want to attract your hot cannibal therapist, it's time to organize those dresser drawers, especially your size small white t-shirts and pale blue boxers. The Feast is Life, Fannibal family. Eat it, and live.
That might have been one of our best efforts.
That was a pretty good one.
Actually. Yeah. See, having Winston on the show is what it took.
You don't worry about that 7-hour delay. You know, it's not.
Lucky charm.